Donnie and Dolly. The team is supported by ableauctions.ca. Closing your business? We can help.
All of our guests today brought to you by Langley Chrysler as we wait on Dave Tomlinson. Don't struggle to find a great deal on newer used vehicles when Langley Chrysler has over 200 vehicles on the lot. Save up to $10,500 on Ram at Langley Chrysler, in-store or online at langleychrysler.com. Canucks defeating the Hawks by a score of 4-1 last night. They play in Seattle tomorrow. You had an update. We talked about the $9 bottle of water in Seattle at Climate Pledge. I can't remember what the price is at Rogers Arena, but the beer, Rick.
Yeah, Chief Swagger just texted this in. Local craft can, $16. Hard seltzer, $16. Yeah, a lot of it is between $13 to $16 for a beer in Seattle at the Kraken game.
Yeah, I can't believe that the game is not available widespread in Seattle. Wow. That's not a great idea. On TV.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Guys, if you want a tea at the Kraken game, $8
for a tea.
Tea is $8. Water's $8 to $9. This is ridiculous.
Well, that better be Murchie's.
You know what?
Or Twinnings.
Donnie, stay at home, get a 6-pack, sit on your couch,
or wrap yourself in one of your blankets.
Best seat in the house. Yeah, best seat in the house.
The new analyst for the Seattle Kraken broadcast on KJR Radio, well known to us in this market. He spent 7 years as a radio analyst for the Canucks on the Funny Station, 1040, former NHLer Dave Tomlinson. He joins us now. Dave, congratulations. How are you, sir?
I'm doing awesome. Thanks, Donnie and Dolly, for having me on. I'm at the Kraken Community Iceplex. The Kraken are just finishing up their practice, so I thought I'd start with some ambiance. You can hear the hockey background, and now I'll go to somewhere a little bit quieter, and we can have a nice conversation and catch up. How are you guys?
Good. Very well, very well. And as you make your way to someplace quieter, just what's your reaction to landing this job?
I'm so excited. I mean, there's only so many seats around the league as a color commentary guy, and especially on the radio, which is what I really enjoy. So as soon as the Kraken were announced and came into the league, I reached out and I didn't hear back, and then I waited a little longer, reached out again, and once they got their TV guys squared away, they worked on radio, and I was the last to add to the puzzle, and just really, really fortunate, excited, and humbled to be here.
Was there a lot of competition for the job, Dave? It seems like every job with the Kraken, there was a lot of competition for. What about yours?
Oh, absolutely. I think Dolly sent in his resume as well. I don't know if they got back to him.
No, I was rejected.
You guys. Well, hey, I've been there too. I think what kind of swung it in my favor is the fact that I had some experience, obviously, doing Canuck games, but doing the international games. The game's so international now. I mean, there's so many players from different countries that are mainstays in the NHL. And then, of course, I got the opportunity to do some TV games for TSN at the World Championship this last year with Dennis Bayak. So kind of rounded out the resume, and then I just, like I did before I got on Team 1040 back in the day, I just kept bugging them until they said yes.
And good for you, and that's the way it should be, Dave, and so happy for you. This team started out 1-3-1 on the road. Dave, what did you like? What didn't you like? We just talked to Ian Furness. He ripped the team. They can't score. Cole Lynn was awful. Your thoughts?
Well, I would say they are an exciting team to watch. They're not blessed with the type of top six skill that the Canucks have and some of the elite teams in the NHL will have. But one thing that they do have is they've got players that can play any forward position, right? So Jared McCann's a good example. He's been playing center. He's going to probably start on the wing against the Vancouver Canucks. And he's a guy that has always played on teams that have had players ahead of him that had solidified spots, right? There's Barkov in Florida, and there's Sidney Crosby in Pittsburgh, and, there's the Sedins and Kessler in Vancouver. And so now he's getting a chance to kind of be the guy on a line, whether it's down the middle or on the side. Morgan Geekie is a guy who I think fans of hockey probably didn't know much about when he was in Carolina, but now here watching him, I mean, he's strong, he's got an awesome shot, he can play the middle, he can play the wing, same thing with Calle Yarncroke. So they've got a lot of guys that can switch to any spot up front. And, they've been solid defensively, but the thing is, they've actually probably been a little bit too aggressive with their forecheck and then allowed some chances off the rush. And so that's where Philip Grubauer is going to come in. I thought he got a little tired as the road trip went on, but he's going to be fresh for the game tomorrow night.
Yeah, they're 3 for 15 with the power play as well. Okay, our poll question is about the Canucks and the Kraken. When does it become a rivalry? For you, playing the game at a high level, what are some of the things that you had in the past with great heated rivals? What needs to take place for these two to have heated rivalry?
It's one of those hits on a top player from either side that gets retribution, and that happened in Philadelphia. It was Bastian who got a hit against Claude Giroux, and then fights spilled over after that. And so, as soon as the pucks drop in Climate Pledge, it's going to be so loud in there. That first big hit against the other team's top guy is going to be remembered, retributed along the way. And I'm not asking for anything violent, but those big hits. I mean, hockey players have long memories, and that's what sparks a pretty good rivalry. I'll go back to my Winnipeg Jet days, and there was a hit by Mike Eagles against Dirk Graham. And remember, he wore that little Jofa helmet. He hit his head on the dasher in Winnipeg. So the very face-off at the end of the game, Chicago put out all their tough guys. And we didn't, because I was out there with Luciano Borsato and Daryl Shannon, and it was a 5-on-5 brawl, and that carried over into the next game when Ty Domi fought Steve Smith, and remember Steve Smith fell down and broke his leg in that fight. That was because of the Dirk Graham thing. I'm bringing violence back in. But, this will be a rivalry, and I'll tell you, I think the Canucks look like they are ready to take on the better teams in the Pacific, like Edmonton and like Vegas, and look at Seattle like, okay, we're just going to move you guys out of the way and then go get another win. And the Kraken are saying, well, wait a second. You got to take that seriously. We are going to be a hardworking team, and we're going to be annoying you from start to finish.
And Dave, you're working the game tomorrow night, I assume. 7 years as an analyst with the Canucks. You're a Vancouver kid. You followed the team all your life. How strange is it going to be working that game tomorrow, and how strange will it be working for a team other than the Canucks?
Well, yeah, I mean, obviously born and bred in Vancouver and pulling for the Canucks along the way. And then my first year in the booth, they go to the Stanley Cup Finals.
Yep.
So that was really exciting. I think what I'm going to do is just have a placard in front of me at the game with Kraken and an arrow pointing to their end of the ice and Canucks, so I don't get those two mixed up, because both fan bases will be after me, I'm sure. But, I've done some, neutral site games, if you want to call it that, in doing the World Juniors and the World Championships, so I've gotten used to calling non-Canuck games. And now that I'm here in Seattle, I mean, I've just been welcomed with open arms. It's been, I've hit the ground running. I got here yesterday in the afternoon and haven't stopped.
Wow.
But, I am feeling like this is where I'm supposed to be. You guys know, like, hockey, it's my lifeblood, and this city is excited. They're not quite sure what they're excited for at times, but they know they want to be a part of it, and I'm glad that I'm here on the ground floor with them.
You can hear the excitement in your voice, Dave. Again, congratulations. Best of luck.
Thanks, fellas. Let's catch up as the season goes along, shall we?
That's going to happen. Thanks, Dave. Appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, we'll have Dave back on the show. No question about it.